Welcome to Ready Gamer 1, a weekly podcast that discusses a love for Nintendo gaming and beyond. I'm your host this week, Lucas Corbett, and Brandon Loera is back with me. How's it going, Brandon?
Howdy. It's going well.
That's good. Our normal host, Ben Cornett, is unable to be with us this week.
How dare him?
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure where he is. He might be traveling, but he's just away from his setup this week. So
AFK.
Yeah, he is AFK. Kick him from the team.
He's gone forever.
This week, there's not a whole lot to talk about. Nintendo's been pretty silent about any more games. There were a few that were added to the launch day.
Mm-hmm.
So that brings the total launch titles up to 10, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So far we have the 1-2 Switch, which actually it looks like, it's gonna be an interesting game, but it seems like it's gonna be just a fun little.
Yeah, it's alright.
Yeah, a fun party game just to kind of break the ice, which is, I believe, the point of that game.
Right.
And then we have The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus, which a lot of people seem to really like The Binding of Isaac.
I've never played it personally myself, but I heard that it has really great artwork. So,
yeah.
Really good story. I mean, it's biblical, so I'm sure a lot of people know the story already. But yeah, I'll probably pick it up for the Switch, for sure.
Yeah, because it's going to be that that solid storyline with the graphical. Yeah, I remember seeing screenshots of it, and it's interesting, the art style, but it's also like very, very pretty.
Yeah. What's up?
No, let's go for it.
Well, it was designed by Macmillan, and apparently it has a little bit to do about his life, his own childhood growing up.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. That is interesting. And then next on the list is going to be Human Resource Machine, which I believe is a new title for today.
Yeah.
And from what I could see, it seems to be a puzzle game in which you have to use like programming commands to work in an office building. I can't find too much about it on an official website, but just on Wikipedia it says there's like 30 puzzles that you have to choose or to beat, and each of them is like a year in your experience programming. And so you have to line up different commands, and then your little avatar does those commands, and you have to go about the day-to-day life through those, which is an interesting way to go about a puzzle game.
So what you're telling me is that it's basically like the TV show The Office in a game.
Basically.
And
yeah,
do we get to play as Dwight and Michael Scott?
If there's any sort of customization options, I believe we will be able to.
I'll be the first one to buy that.
Get the glasses and the parted hair and the mustard shirt, and you're good to go.
$5, let's do it.
Oh. Put that down there. And then another one is I Am Setsuna,
I think.
Setsuna. And a lot of people love this game. I haven't played it myself, but it's another JRPG that has so many faithful followers to it.
Beautiful story, beautiful artwork again.
Mm-hmm. Square Enix has so many wonderful games that I don't think I've ever played a bad Square Enix game.
Yeah, I mean, with the name behind it, you can just place a bet that it's probably going to be a good game. So if you've never played this before, try it out. I mean, I haven't, so I'll be trying it out. But there's like a lot of sacrifice in this game, so it seems to be what Square Enix does a lot, so no surprise there.
Yeah, for sure. I remember my first game of that type was actually Final Fantasy Tactics Advance on the Game Boy Advance.
Oh no!
And so it's not a real Final Fantasy game by any stretch of the imagination. But I like that story. It's the whole Final Fantasy series is really solid. But I kind of feel bad telling people that I've played a pretty good Final Fantasy game, and then they ask me, and I tell them that it was Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. And they
See,
kind of look at me funny.
I would understand if it was like the original Final Fantasy Tactics on PS1 because that was legit my favorite tactical strategy, board game type thing, where you move the tiles. That was so awesome. Everything was just beautifully done in that game. The story, the characters, the combat, everything was great about it. And then Advance came out. I was like, bro, you just scrapped everything that you had good on that, and then just went totally different. It was a totally different feel. Didn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my first game was Square Enix, or it was SquareSoft at the time. Was Final Fantasy VII. So
nice.
I'll hark back to that game every single time we talk about Square Enix. Perfect masterpiece, dude. I mean, the story isn't, spoon-fed to you, so you kind of got to think about it a little bit. But I'm really excited about the new episodic remaster that they're doing for 7. I am so pumped for that.
Yeah, that seems to be a lot of people are really looking forward to getting their hands on that game.
It's sad that the first part will be probably 2018, but oh well.
Yeah, I think it'll be worth the wait.
For sure. So what we got next?
Next on the list is going to be, I believe, your favorite game so far, Just Dance 2017.
Oh man, how did you know? It just keeps getting better.
No, I don't think I've ever played a Just Dance game, but they're fun for a small family if they want to just have a little game night. It's a solid game. I mean,
okay,
it's not like anything else that we have here, but it's
here's the thing.
Good.
I actually have played one of these dance games, and it's not Just Dance. I played I don't remember what the title's called, but I think it was just called Michael Jackson Dance or whatever.
Oh, like the Experience or something like that?
Yeah, on the Wii.
Yeah.
It just had all his songs on there, and we, listen to his beautiful voice, sing those tunes, and pure nostalgia, and learn his dance. Beginner, medium, expert level.
Yeah.
It was kind of fun. Not gonna lie.
Was that because it was a dancing game, or because it was Michael Jackson?
I wouldn't say it was fun because it was a dancing game. But I don't know, both, I guess. I mean, Michael Jackson, you can't go wrong listening to that stuff. You can just sit still and just listen to his music.
And still have a pretty good time.
Yeah.
No, that's good. I know. Those are always fun little games you can just try out. I like that.
That'll be nice.
And then, as everyone knows, they're going to be launch day is going to be The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
What?
And I know.
News.
Spoiler alert.
News.
I know.
Holy crap.
I think we've talked extensively about Breath of the Wild. I don't think we need to cover any more of that.
No.
And I don't think there's any more news on it. I think the only thing that's happening is that Nintendo keeps putting out screenshots of different parts of the world, but I don't think there's any more news on it so much.
I think you are correct, sir.
So that means we can go on to the next game, which I believe is a new launch title. It is going to be Little Inferno.
Sounds interesting.
Yes, I did not see much on that. Did you look that one up a little bit?
Yeah, I definitely can.
But it seems, from what I remember, it was like another puzzle game, I think.
Yeah, it looks kind of dark, actually.
But
I mean, it's a game about burning stuff, apparently. If that wasn't obvious in the title.
Oh, Little Inferno. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh my!
You always have that option of being like, is it a literal inferno, or is it going to be like someone's mind is burning up and their soul is a little inferno? But no, this is literally just people burning things.
Well, yeah. Apparently, we're stupid, and it's just what it is. That's why people haven't written anything about it.
Yeah,
I can't tell you anything about it.
Yeah, from what I'm reading, it's a sandbox kind of game. No real objectives, no failures. Just kind of you burn toys, dolls, electronics, anything. A combination of things. You can throw them on there and see what happens. Which I think is actually going to be fun to play late at night when you're pissed at someone. You're like, you know what? I just want to burn something.
Burn.
I just want to cause mayhem for no good reason.
Just visualize an attack.
Yeah. If you want to throw something on the fire, go right ahead. Do that. You
And
can throw that on the fire.
there's not a lot of times when you yourself can, pull fire like out of your finger just in the switch of a hat,
Exactly.
because you'll die. So that's always
yeah,
nice.
that's true.
So don't try this at home, ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen. Don't burn
Always
your
make
fingers.
sure your fires are contained within fireplaces or your Nintendo Switch console.
Be safe.
If you pick up this 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 has been your public service announcement. All right, and then next up is going to be a very, very popular game with families, Skylanders Imaginators.
Oh, that's a thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
there are so many Skylanders out there. I work at GameStop, and we have hundreds and hundreds of these little Skylanders figures, and we cannot get rid of them fast enough.
What would you equate that to? Like back in the 90s or something? Would that be like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh, or what's the level of this that we're talking about here?
Like level of hype for it?
Yeah.
Like,
How well is it doing? A Digimon, maybe?
It's probably in between Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon. I mean, it's not nearly as big as Pokemon because very few games are, but it's super popular. There have already been, 5 or 6 different games on this because they keep updating, Skylanders like 2.0, 3.0, and so you have new characters coming in, and you have new levels that you can play through. And I believe there are the newest one has like Crash Bandicoot. I want to say he's in there. I don't pay too much attention to it because it doesn't. It's not my kind of game. But
Of course.
then again, I haven't played it, so I could be totally wrong.
True. Just using the star power.
Mm-hmm.
Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, oh, man, I loved Crash Bandicoot. It was such a fun game.
They're remaking that. It's gonna be awesome.
For what platform?
I believe PS4.
Really? I don't think I heard that.
I could be totally wrong, but I could have sworn I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
That would be
quote
really
me on
cool
it.
if they did.
Yeah, look it up.
Because I remember seeing all of those, like fan-made Unreal Engine for,
Of course.
Crash Bandicoot. I'm like, that would be really cool if they did.
Just like little bitty scenes of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy release date. Crash Bandicoot. I actually remember I didn't play the main game too much, but I loved Crash Team Racing.
Oh,
That
yeah.
game, I think it was on the PS1. I dominated that game.
Mm.
Because I was always Pinstripe, and I always raced as Pinstripe, and I was always throwing his little potions behind me at everyone behind me, and it was just, I forgot who my brother played, but we played that all the time when we went to my grandma's house, because she always, wanted to get games for us so that we could have something to do.
Yes, I did the same thing.
Oh, man, Pinstripe.
I don't remember any of the characters' names or anything.
I'm surprised I remember Pinstripe, but I always played him.
It's very impressive.
And then up next on our list is going to be Super Bomberman R.
Oh man,
Uh,
that's gonna
Super
be good.
Bomberman, yeah, it's a simple idea for that game. I mean, it's not necessarily easy, but it's gonna be simple. Trying to
Did you hear anything like if it was gonna have a story or anything, like the first two or something like that?
I'm not sure. I think it's just gonna be
Because I feel like
Um,
it's just like a mini game type online thing.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be that sort of maze. You have to trap your enemies in the corner and blow them up. I don't think there's going to be any sort of story.
Yeah, I miss the old Bombermans. Those really got me hooked. Even though they were
Yeah.
really, really stupid and corny stories. I mean, it's completely awful and stereotypical with the villains and things, but I don't
hmm
know. It just kind of completed the whole package for me.
Yeah. Like,
And the different powers that Bomberman can do.
yeah.
It's beautiful.
I remember playing Bomberman more than I played Mega Man because I always liked Bomberman's powers more than Mega Man's powers.
Man, you know what? That might be blasphemy, but I kind of agree with you.
Yeah, like I'm not saying that Mega Man's a bad game. I loved Mega Man. It's a my I always watched my oldest brother play, and afterwards I would try and do it, and I was not good. But I always thought that it was kind of, you know, not boring, but his powers were, they were okay. They were all right.
I was always so pumped for the bosses in Bomberman.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of just like getting to the bosses in Mega Man. I think the bosses in Mega Man are way more difficult than Bomberman's bosses. But the thing with Bomberman's bosses is that I believe they were on like a strict time limit. So if you were doing well, but you just had like a quarter of his health left, and time ran out, sorry, you lost. I was
Yeah.
like, dang, that's upsetting. I would throw my controller at the TV like, this isn't fair.
Yeah. Because you were doing so good up to that point, and then you just
Ah,
kind of timed out. It's like, come on, really?
making me feel just awful.
Mm-hmm.
It was the time limit in Bomberman was like the Dark Souls of the 90s.
Yeah.
Was awful.
Just unnecessary, not unnecessarily hard, but it took a long time to master.
Yeah.
So that's going to be good to see how they managed to bring back that nice little franchise. It's gonna be fun.
I'm not sure that I would. I don't know how much it's going to be, but I don't think I'd pay 60 for it if it's just purely the online throwing bombs at each other aspect.
And I think it's going to be you can do co-op, and also like the 8-player multiplayer competitive multiplayer mode. Apparently, is from what I'm reading. So you can get if you're lucky enough to have 8 friends.
Yay.
Some people, but no, you can get 8 strangers together and play this probably a 4-on-4 mode. But it's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be a short game because that's going to be 50 stages, and
Oh,
I would
shoot.
assume that those are going to be, you know, harder and harder as you get further along in the game.
I'm down.
But yeah, that's another one of those party games where if you want to break up some friendships, you want to play some Bomberman?
Hey, sounds a little bit longer than Mario Party 10 or whatever that was.
Oh, Mario Party 10 was not the best. I didn't like Mario Party 10.
The worst of the Mario parties, I think. I mean, what, like 4 or 5 stages, and they lasted like 2 minutes, and there was only
Yeah.
like certain ways that you can play it. Oh man, no way.
It wasn't. It was still fun for maybe a game or two, and then you couldn't do any more after that. It was like, okay, I've already played all these, and like there were different modes,
Yeah,
but it wasn't the same. Hey, let's get all of our friends together and play Mario Party. It didn't have that feel.
I will say though that they did a fairly good job of integrating the gamepad and being able to play as Bowser. So
Yes, that was really good. I did enjoy that.
yeah,
Because up to this point he was just an NPC that you had to beat, but now he was one of your friends that could totally screw you over if they wanted to.
and now he's a pimp.
He is.
So upgrade.
He's working his way up in the world.
Gonna get laid. JK, I actually don't know that, but fingers
Trying
crossed,
to get
right?
hitched. Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
He's tried all these years. I think he deserves it.
He deserves it. Dang
Mario
it.
can take a weekend and visit his brother.
Just share Peach. It's fine. I'm gonna get blasted so hard for that too.
Oh man.
Oh well.
Oh, it's gonna be fun. You know how Nintendo fans are.
Yeah.
Not that Nintendo fans are bad or anything, but
No, no.
they're very passionate about their games. And then wrapping up the launch title list is going to be an interesting game, World of Goo. Again, it's a new title, and from what I've seen, it looks like I don't remember what that game was called, but you had to use like rotating balls to like move. Oh man, I don't even remember what the name is, but in this one, from what I can tell, you have to use your like balls of goo to get like
Attach
piping from attach it to the other side of the level.
Okay.
Which is another sort of like puzzly kind of construction game.
The artwork is very playful. It kind of reminds me of like the mobile game Cut the Rope or something.
Yeah,
a little bit.
because like everything has eyes and it's kind of like globular.
Yeah, there's a couple blocky aspects to it as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, it looks like it's going to be about 4 or 5 chapters, and all these chapters are going to have their different levels, and they might have different objectives too. Like if you need to get a flag over to the other side, if you need to move a box or something. But it seems like another one of those games where you can just, if you have an hour or two, you want to kill some time, pick it up, play some games, get puzzles. I just like that kind of the look of it. Like you said, the artwork is just kind of silly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not gonna try and be like so construction-y that it looks like concrete and steel.
Yeah,
but it's
not like Batman versus Superman or anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not trying to take itself too seriously.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, let's not talk about that disaster.
Yeah,
but the artwork's like really inviting.
It is, yeah.
It draws you in.
Mm-hmm. And like in the official, like this artwork has like tentacles coming out of things and like windmills, and it looks like it's going to be fun but challenging as well.
Yeah. Speaking of challenging, I already know that like halfway through this game, I'm just gonna break the disc in half just out of pure anger.
I've tried this level 30 times and I still can't beat it.
Dang you, Candy Crush!
Yeah, welcome to Portal. Oh my gosh.
Oh man, that's true. Oh man, God, that's awful. I don't want to talk about that.
I'm going to talk about it anyway. There's always one level in Portal 2 that it takes me so long to remember how to do it. And it's the one where if you haven't played Portal 2, stop listening now, go buy a Portal 2 and play it. It's a great game.
It is.
But it's when you are trying to escape and you're already talking to, Cave Johnson's already talking to you, and you have the white like portal conductor goo, and you have to like shoot it up on these 2 like concrete towers, and it's just, I forget exactly where it is in the game, but I always forget how to beat that level, and so I'm stuck there for like an hour trying to remember how to do it because I've beat the game multiple times. But it's just it's every time that one level always gets me, and it's so frustrating.
You have immense patience, my friend.
Oh, it took me a long time to get past when you first fall and you have GLaDOS in the potato and you fell into like the underbelly of the place. I was stuck on my 360 for months. Literally months. I could not for the life of me figure out how to get past. And I didn't want to look it up because that's cheating, and I don't want to cheat. And so I was just sitting there running back and forth trying to figure out how in the world to get past this stupid wall. And then all I had to do was, look up and zoom, and then there's a little wall that I could shoot my portal onto. And I very nearly just took a bat to my 360. I was so upset.
People listening are like, scrub.
I know, right?
GG.
Took it that long to figure it out.
GG.
Oh man, such a good game though. So well made. But that wraps up our our launch title list.
Woo.
But another not surprising aspect to the Switch is that the Pro Controller pre-sales went up. I forget when. It was just recently. And then about 30 seconds later, they were all picked up, which is fantastic.
It seems like it was 3 or 4 days ago, and within half an hour, screw you, scalpers. That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
They are ruthless.
They are. And I remember seeing a picture, I forget where it was. It might have been in Nintendo Holics or some other Facebook group, but someone was selling on eBay a water bottle from the Nintendo Switch event for I forget how much it was, either $500 or $1,000, and it's just come on.
Are people that stupid to what? Who would buy that? Who would buy that?
I have no idea, but I just remember people are the reason he said that, he said scalpers, and I remember him saying that, but people are incredibly cutthroat to get what they want, and then want to sell it for a ridiculous amount of money.
And people, please just be patient. Just wait a month, maybe 2 months. I mean, we all know that Nintendo is very stingy when it comes to offering up quantities of their new products. I mean, that's just how it is. I don't know. We don't know when the next shipment will be, but just know that Nintendo knows that they don't have a lot right now, and hopefully it'll be out in another month.
That's very true. It doesn't even come out until March. We have so much time from now until then to get another wave of pre-orders in.
Don't lose hope.
Everything's gonna be all right.
But
it's gonna be okay.
I think right now, if you absolutely need them, there's a bundle with the Pro Controller at GameStop, right?
There is. That has the Pro Controller, and it has a few more. It has a carrying case for the Switch. It has skins, I believe, for the Joy-Cons, and it has a screen protector, earbuds, and that's all going to be Breath of the Wild based. It's going to be the Sheikah Stone.
I like it.
Or the Sheikah Eye, or whatever they're going to call it. But if you want to spend $100 on that, I mean, because the controller itself is going to be, what, 60? Probably 60?
The Pro Controller itself?
Yeah.
I think it's 69.
69. Oh, man. That's terrible.
But I mean, compare that to the price of whatever they're selling, the scalpers are selling the Pro Controllers by themselves right now.
True.
I mean, at this point, if you're desperately needing it, I mean, I guess the bundle's the way to go if you're needing to spend the money now.
Yeah, that's very true. And you can get thumb caps for your Switch too. And I don't think scalpers include thumb caps.
Got him.
Take that, scalpers. Boom.
So can you tell us a little bit of, if people don't know, what the Pro Controller is, what it has?
So the Pro Controller is its own controller. It doesn't have anything to do with the Joy-Con controllers. It isn't attached to any of the Joy-Cons. It's basically like what the Wii U Pro Controller was, but for the Switch. It's a brand new controller. It looks more like a typical controller. It has, the two handles and then one joystick on the top left, one joystick on the bottom right, all your A, B, X, Y, and your D-pad as well. And it looks more ergonomic than the Joy-Cons or the handle with the Joy-Con controllers in it as well.
Okay, so it's kind of it kind of reminds me of an Xbox controller, the way that's set up with the analog sticks.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
And it's able to read amiibos, right?
No, I don't believe so. I think it's just the controller.
Oh.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure the Switch itself can read amiibos, but I don't think the controller can.
Well, I'm looking on maybe GameSpot. Had an article not too long ago, and about a few days ago, and they said it has the ability to read amiibo figures. If you just touch the bottom of the amiibos to the Nintendo Switch the insignia or whatever on the controller.
Really?
It looks like it has space for it. I'm not quite sure either. It could just be speculation.
Yeah. That would be really interesting if it did.
I mean, it's not like we need it, but it's a cool feature to have if that's true.
Yeah.
And it's USB-C cable.
Mm-hmm. And then I believe this is fairly new, but the specs for the Switch, the actual running specs were released not too long ago.
Ooh, share.
And well, I'll tell you, they didn't tell us much about their CPU or GPU, which is terrible.
Okay.
Because that's the thing that everyone cares about.
Right.
All I say that it's going to be the NVIDIA customized Tegra processor, but that doesn't tell us what it's going to be.
Of course.
I mean, the other big thing is the video output, and if you're in the TV mode, it's going to be 1920 by 1080 at 60 frames per second with your HDMI cable to your TV. And then if you want to do just the handheld mode or the tablet mode, it's going to be maximum resolution at 1280 by 720, which is just going to be the screen resolution.
Right.
The interesting thing is that they, and this is on the Nintendo UK site. I tried to find it on the US site and I didn't see it. So everything's going to be in metric, not freedom units. However, this site does not give the FPS for handheld mode, and we know that it's going to take a little bit of a hit.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it doesn't have that that same processing power, but it doesn't give an exact specification on when that's going to be.
Honestly,
which is interesting.
I don't even think it's gonna. I don't even think it's gonna flatline at 30.
Really?
I don't think it'll be constant. I think it's going to be a fluctuating 30.
Because I know, especially if it's going to be like a really intense game, like even when I was playing Pokemon Sun on my 3DS, when I did the Battle Royale.
Yes.
It drains it pretty good. I mean, it gets a little choppy.
So choppy. I forgot about that. You're right.
Mm-hmm. And forget about even trying to use a Z move, because it basically freezes for about a second, and then it's like, all right, yeah, I think I have to play this now. It's just it's a lot of strain.
System overload.
I know. Oh, poor thing. But I just didn't like how they didn't give us a spec on that.
I'm sure it'll be. They're keeping their cards close to the vest.
They are.
I think we'll have more info on that here in the next couple of weeks. I mean, they can't keep it that long.
Mm-hmm. That's very true. Because people are they're going to be asking questions. They're going to be concerned about not being able to play their games well on the go. And the whole reason that the Nintendo Switch, was created was to be able to be played on the go. So if you're not going to be able to get the same experience on the road that you can at home, well, then there's no real point in going on the road with it.
Yeah, I mean, since Ben travels a lot, I know he's biting his nails waiting to hear this information as well.
Oh, yeah. He travels a whole lot.
Ridiculous.
Even if you're not traveling anywhere, if you want to go over to someone's house, or you're going to meet, in a park or on a rooftop like Karen, do you want to bring it? It's not... Poor Karen. If you're not going to be able to play at the same rate, then, you might as well just stay home and be a loner and eat pizza all night.
Or in the bathroom.
Or in the bathroom. Play Mario Kart in the bathroom.
Yep.
That's what I always do.
I've been apparently missing out.
Get your Mario Kart DS and play in the bathroom, and a lot of fun. That game was like, I love that game. My senior year of high school, I had a free period, and me and my friend Roman, we always played Mario Kart DS in the teacher's lounge, and I don't know why we were let in there, but we did. And it was just, it's just, it's a lot of fun game. I mean, Mario Kart is always going to be a nice, moderately intense game to play if you have, some free time, and it's just, oh man, I love Mario Kart.
Man, you were lucky to be able to do that in a teacher's lounge.
Mm-hmm. My high school was really chill. I mean, it was, yeah.
Well,
there was hardly any teachers in there. It was just me, him, and another girl who had a free period. She just kind of wandered in one day.
you and Ben are invited, of course, but I'm going to state this right now. As soon as I get my Switch and everybody else, whoever wants to, I'm just gonna go like in Walmart or something, and we're gonna have like this big party, and just have like a bathroom Mario Kart Deluxe. You bring your headsets, your Switch, BYOB, like whatever, dude. Just let's make a night of it, you know.
Let's rock it out in the Walmart bathroom.
Make a Facebook event, you know. Let's do it.
I think because of that commercial, they're saying that the only place that Mario Kart Deluxe is going to work is in a bathroom.
Mamma mia!
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh my gosh, that was such an odd way to start that commercial.
I love it. They're branching out, being creepy. I like it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good for them. They're taking risks. But another thing that I thought, getting back on topic here, about the battery, not only it's going to be, depending on the game, how long the battery lasts, is going to change, but since it's an internal battery, you can't change it yourself. If it, ever goes kaput, you need to contact, Nintendo customer support. And this website's saying that they're going to offer, a paid replacement to your battery, but what I want to know is that going to be something that we need to look out for often? Is that going to be because it's going to be running so hard that the battery is going to fry itself if you use it too long outside?
I don't see that happening. I mean, maybe. I mean, I live in Texas, so maybe in the summer when it gets like 115 degrees, don't take your controllers outside for longer than maybe 15, 30 minutes, But I've never had that problem, actually. And I think the only... Was it the Xbox 360 controllers that you can take the batteries out or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be fine.
I just thought it was interesting how it's all... it makes sense it's going to be internal. But this thing is just so fragile that I don't ever want to do anything even remotely, dangerous with it.
That's true.
But something that I thought was cool that they, and a lot of people were hoping that it's going to be maybe compatible with 3DS cartridges if it's going to be, if it's going to use the cartridge system. But I'll tell you right now, it's not going to be that way. I mean, the port for the game card is going to be unique to the Switch. So, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see any sort of, unless you modify your 3DS cartridge somehow, which I do not recommend doing.
Right.
At all. You're going to see solely Switch games going to be played on that. But I think that about wraps up our info here, unless you have anything else to say, Brandon.
No, just that hopefully with the info that they gathered from the NES Classic Edition that they've been selling out like hotcakes, hopefully everything will be a little bit smoother for the Switch.
That is true, yeah. And I really hope that the Nintendo store in New York isn't the only place that's going to be consistently getting Nintendo Switches, because that's that's ridiculous. I always see posts from them about, hey, the NES Classic is going to be available on this date, one per customer, limit of like 30. Like really?
In New York. Road
Yeah.
trip.
Yeah, here we go. Everyone's going to go to New York, get themselves an NES Classic. So I really hope that they, like you said, they're going to be more on top of the ball in getting their consoles out there for the general public.
For sure. I have faith.
Yeah, and Nintendo's they've been good about, for the most part, getting their hardware to the masses.
I mean, I'm pretty pessimistic, but there is no way that they can screw up their orders and shipments and such as bad as they did, like the Wii U and the NES Classic. I mean, it's only going to get better from here. So
yeah, that's true. We've hit not quite rock bottom, but it can't get much worse.
Yeah.
All right, well, that about wraps up this episode of Ready Gamer 1. Once again, my name is Lucas Corbin, joined again with Brandon Loera. Thank you all for listening, and hope to see you again next time.
Adios.